Hi Giselle, welcome to my massage space. I thought since we couldn't catch up on the weekends, it would be a good idea to make you a little film of the work that I do. So I borrowed a friend who's going to be my client for today, and I'll just do a short excerpt really of the work that I do. So there'll be different techniques shown in there, and I'll talk throughout it to let you know why I would use those techniques and what for. If I was doing an hour-long remedial treatment, it would go, the actual movements would be much slower and much more focused. This is, like I said, just an overview. So if you can't feel the treatment, at least you can see the way that I work, and hopefully we'll get to catch up soon and do the real thing. So come in. So this is the massage room that I've worked in for the past 8 years, and I have lots of regular clients here. Mostly I work in the evenings. This is actually at my mum's place, and this was my bedroom, so it's got a really beautiful feeling to it. Fantine here on the table. And I'll start, the way that I'll do it is I'll just do a massage for the left hand side of her body and explain to you as I'm going, but please keep in mind that it's working much faster than I normally would work. With the remedial treatment as well, normally the treatment would include the health form and getting a good idea of where the injury or illness has come from. And the techniques that I use, I have developed from 10 years of experience, lots and lots of clients treated. Some of it I was taught, and some of it I think has come quite naturally to me. I started off my massage career massaging animals, and so by doing that, got a real feel for the physiology of the body. Animals and people are not that different, the way their muscles work, but also the non-verbal signals that we get when treating as well. So here I'm just warming up using sort of a medium pressure petrissage. And again, if we were doing trigger point therapy treatment, I would warm up the muscles, and then I would go through each set of muscles very slowly in a really focused way and apply deep pressure to where we find the knots or constrictions in the muscle. And that not only assists with pain management and a decrease in pain and discomfort, but also a far increased range of movement as well. Is that pressure okay, Fantine?
Yes, thank you.
So stretching out the Achilles is a really nice move. And then also paying attention to the joints and just energizing them and increasing blood flow and circulation while we do. So normally in an hour-long treatment, that lower leg treatment would take approximately probably between 5 and 7 minutes, really. So that's just a little overview of it. And I measure my success in goosebumps, unless it's cold. Are you cold, Fantine?
Oh, no, okay.
And the music that I use as well, I don't know whether you guys have specific music that you use for your massage treatments, but for me it's always been a really, really big part of the way that I work, and usually I'll work in rhythm to what the music is doing. I use a quite extensive range of music, from Indian chanting to this beautiful piano music, yoga influenced music, sometimes quite rhythmic as well. And my clients who've been coming to me for a long time will choose their music depending on what they would like to get out of the massage, whether they want to feel relaxed and rejuvenated, peaceful, whether they've got busy minds. And so we often talk about that before the treatment, and I think it's a really important part of the holistic work of what I do, to be able to create an entire experience of the massage, so it's a real mind, body, soul thing. So again, that upper leg treatment would normally be 7 minutes or so. Depending on where the problem areas are too. If we were just treating a sciatic issue, the whole hour treatment would be divided from the hamstrings into the hips and glutes and lower back, and then we'd also treat the front of the pelvis as well. And then we just finish off with effleurage, sweeping the energy back in towards the centre of the body. Treating the glutes, I would always do through the towel. So I'm just finding the edge of the sacrum here and applying a little pressure, and I like to use my fingers in a line like that, so you can sort of cover a large area when doing that. And having a feel of how the glute attachments are coming into the bones and into the joints here. Is that pressure okay, Fenty?
Yes, thank you.
And it's really, really common for people to have tightness and restriction in here. So normally I would take quite a bit of time on this area. And it can have really amazing results once the trigger points are all addressed, as far as freedom of movement goes, and also a release of lower back pain too. And just sweeping off once I've finished those moves, because they're quite deep. So this is probably about 5 times as fast as I would normally go, as far as each stroke goes. So normally I'd probably be working more at a pace like this, feeling my way through these trigger points in the erector spinae muscles, so they go from the hips all the way up to the back of the head. And they do a lot of work, so they can often be very tight. Taking in the whole of the side body as well, but still feeling with my fingertips what's going on more towards the spine. Addressing the QL muscle, which is one that people often have issues with, and this would be a really important trigger point in treating lower back issues. It's the last thing really that we would treat if we're treating a sciatic case. Just bring your arm down here. That's it. Thank you. The rhomboid muscles, the computer muscles or driving muscles or playing with mobile phone muscles is somewhere that we treat a lot. And then we're coming into the neck, and I will treat that from supine